Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in the Wild podcast. We are here in Mally's new home.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is the first time we've recorded together. I've recorded here, but together.
Yeah, our first time recording in person at Mally's home. We're having a little bit of a sleepover.
A little bit. I don't really know how it's a little bit. If you sleep here, then
Yeah, I'm just trying to make
full-blown.
it sound casual, but it's actually a huge deal because it's our
It's not in my
first sleepover in your new house.
Yeah,
Isn't
it
it
is.
crazy?
I'm really excited to get this podcast over with and then watch some TV.
Me too. What are we gonna watch?
I don't know. What do you want to watch?
Like maybe Love Island. I feel like it's a sleepover vibe.
It is.
And some crazy stuff has been going down.
Apparently. I've been keeping track on TikTok, and then I've watched a few of the most recent eps.
Where have you watched those?
In a place undisclosed.
In an undisclosed location. Got
Yes.
it? Okay. Well, I haven't watched, I don't think, anymore, but I've just, like, sort of against my will, found information out about the show.
Yeah.
On TikTok or podcasts that I've been listening to. So, you know, I'm kind of caught up.
Has June been introduced on the podcast?
I don't think she has.
Hey guys, this is June. She's waving. She is being like slightly psychotic this evening, so.
Okay, let's not underplay this. She's psychotic.
She is. And you know what? We're trying to wind her down for bedtime.
Yeah, we still love her.
Yeah, but she's just a crackhead.
She's a crazy dog.
June, look at the camera.
She has bright blue eyes.
Yeah. They're like half Disney princess, half possessed. If you stare at her too long, first of all, she will bite you.
She's like Medusa mixed with Rapunzel, kinda.
Yeah.
Or which princess has like bright blue eyes? Rapunzel has green eyes, I think. Or maybe brown. Can't remember.
I can't remember it. I think.
Probably Cinderella.
Yeah, probably. That's very on brand.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's so cute, but she is crazy.
She's so funny. She does the funniest junk. Like whenever she's getting off the couch, she doesn't really jump. She just walks off the couch and then just falls wherever, she lands. So anyway,
we're having, let's tell them our drinks of the pod.
Let's.
We're having some herbal tea. I'm having Earl Grey.
I'm having orange
spice. How is it?
It's good. I like it with, don't knock this out of my hands. I like it with a little bit of sugar.
Well, you should have got some.
I didn't get any though. Should have.
It's better for you without.
You're right. Also, I would like to announce publicly that we have officially started a half marathon training as a unit. And I'm not going to disclose the exact date of our half marathon, but let's just say
it's just around the bend.
It's going to be an abbreviated training program.
It is, and I have full faith.
I do too.
We're waking up in the wee hours of the night at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
To run in the morning.
We are.
And you know what? All we can do is show up. And that's exactly what we're doing. We didn't say when we would show up. We just said we would.
Yep.
And we have. And that's really all you can hold us accountable for, is we are women of our word.
We always say that, and this is just another time that it's proven true.
Yeah, we like to prove that very frequently. So, yeah.
Do we have any other life updates? I feel like you had something funny. Oh, do you want to tell your grocery store experience?
Oh, yes, I would actually love to bash Food City till they are out of business. So today, you all know I have a fear of grocery stores and shopping. Sorry. June just did one of her elongated walks off of the couch.
Please don't mess with that.
She's stepping on the computer. June! Get off, you fatty! We can make sure it's still recording.
Did you just body shame your dog?
Well, the shoe fits. It's called constructive bullying.
I'm going to have to keep this up here.
Anyways, so you all know, like, I have an immense fear of stores, specifically stores in which I have to push a buggy.
Of stores.
And grocery shopping is something that unfortunately is included in marriage. Like somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
So I did it because Colin's working. So I went today, and Food City was like kind of not bumping at the hour that I went because it was midday. So when I had one of their small buggies, you know, the top bottom cart, it was full. Easy to do. It's a small cart.
For sure.
So I'm going up to the checkout lines, and I notice all the legit checkout lines are full. So, you know, it's empty, the self-checkout. Now, there is a sign that says 15 items or less, but it's never been a problem before.
For sure. You've lived in this town, gone to this Food City for how long?
Like 23 years.
You're an experienced Food City
City.
shopper.
I am a value card member holder.
Serious. And you have proof of your experience.
Literally, I have the card on my keys. Anyways, so I start ringing up all of my stuff very politely. I'm minding my business, staying in my lane.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, this worker comes up. And she's like, you can finish what you're doing, but just next time know that it's 15 items or less. And I was like, oh my gosh. I obviously played dumb. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The checkout lines were just so full. I thought this would be faster. I was right. Anyways, she then proceeds to stand next to my cash register the entire time I check out. Like,
Wow.
watching me as if I was going to steal something. Like, so if you have 16 items, you're a thief automatically?
How many items would you say you had?
I literally could get out the receipt and it would tell you how many I had. I did buy 4 Alani's, so that takes up lots of number space. But still, and like the girl that walked the register the same time I did and went through a legit checkout line, guess who was still standing there when I rolled out? Her.
So it worked out for you.
Yeah. But boy, did I have that attendee's
Disgusting.
feathers ruffled.
Yeah. It sounds like
So
it.
I'll never be returning to Food City again.
And I think that's fair.
I'm going to have to drive out of town for groceries now.
You're not going to go to Walmart?
Walmart is scary.
I kind of love Walmart.
I like going. I have to be like, oh, and I also went to Walmart today, and as soon as I walked in, all my cards, literally my license, health insurance, credit card, debit card, Target gift card, all fell in the floor. And I was like, wait, what was that sound? And I turned around, my life on the floor, my identity.
Every valuable possession.
I was like, oh, this is a sign I need to walk out of this place immediately.
Yeah. Literally no more grocery shopping for
But you know what I'm going to do is a Walmart pickup. I think I'm going to become a pickup.
Okay. You should invest, it's like $10 a month in Walmart delivery.
Plus, actually, Colin's dad has it, so we can just use that.
You should.
It's
Have you
also
ever?
not $10 a month? I think it's a lot more than that.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking if you have it, then it's never more than $10 for delivery or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, something about $10. Not sure, but it is so convenient. That's
It's
what.
like same day delivery, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's like 3 hours or less.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's so. Or you can schedule it. That's what I like to do. If I'm like during finals or something, when I get a free moment wherever I am, I just like schedule it, and then it'll be there like at 7 a.m. I like to do it early in the morning when I know I'll be home.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you not trust
It's really nice.
Walmart delivers to be in your area when you're not there? You think they're gonna steal something?
Oh no, I just don't want my groceries to sit outside.
True.
You know, and my apartment's kind of gross in the hallway.
And you know what? Today I was gonna buy paper towels at the store, and I was like, I'm getting that delivered.
Yeah.
I will never be caught carrying a roll of toilet paper or paper towels anymore.
don't blame
Especially
you.
after today.
Also, apparently the Spark drivers, the Walmart delivery drivers, like I guess they're like technically contracted out. They get good pay.
Really? You
Yeah.
and Mabel
Yeah,
with
that's what I've
stealing
heard,
our
I know.
spotlight.
They go directly between the camera and your face.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that was just the battle I'm going through. How I'm
Well,
suffering ATM.
You know what they say about God's toughest soldiers?
Yeah, I do. They're the best people in the world.
I mean, toughest battles. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers, and everybody knows that.
Yeah. Except you kind of didn't, since you just butchered the saying. Anyways.
No, I knew it. Oh, you know how we're always talking about like Southern sayings? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm aware.
Well, I heard Ryan say one today that's a really good one. and I don't know if it's Southern, and I think it's often overlooked. And that is blah, 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 as all get out.
That is most definitely Southern.
You think that's Southern?
You know, I don't hear a Valley girl saying as all get out.
But we say that like all the time.
Dude.
Let me give you guys an example if you happen to not know what that means.
My herbal tea.
It's like, oh my gosh, this herbal tea is hot as all get out. It just means like very hot, very. It means the word very. Yeah.
I put this dog in a trance. I promise you, Earl Grey tea is not that good, Queen.
No, she would hate it.
Anyways, do you have any life updates? You went to the beach. How was that?
Oh yeah, I did go to the beach on over like the 4th of, well, Ryan's family was at the beach. Me and Ryan could only go for like literally 48 hours, maybe a little longer. But it was so much fun. We had a good beach day, got nice and sunburnt. Saw a lighthouse with his mom, climbed to the top. And I will say, I'm like not scared of heights really at all. But being on the top of a skinny little lighthouse, and before you go in, they say, we have to disclose to you that this building is not up to modern codes.
Then how was it open?
Well, I guess it's because like it's historic or whatever. But I was a little freakied out there.
Was it like wibbling?
No, but the wind was blowing really, really hard.
Yeah.
It was, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty creepy. Ryan says that, I need to stop like saying things that he says. I've said that like 3 times. Ryan said blah, blah, blah. No one cares.
This isn't Ryan's podcast.
Anyway, someone said to me that, it's because the stairs aren't deep enough. Like your whole foot can't sit on one stair, which kind of makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, that
Who
is.
knows if it's true? It came from
freaky.
an unreliable source.
Yeah.
But
Very unreliable.
yeah. So anyway, today we are going. Anything else? Today I really had to pitch this idea and sell it to Mally, and I don't know if I ever did. We just didn't come up with any other ideas.
I mean, I wasn't 1000% sold. But when you sent the chat GTP outline of the episode, I knew I couldn't fight you any longer.
Well, that's what I was hoping by doing that. But I don't know if you guys have heard, but in January of this year, there was an Atlantic article that was published. And I think the Atlantic is like fully like opinion pieces. But there was one that went really viral. And it was called, quote, Americans Need to Party More. And it's by Ellen Cushing, if you're wondering, or if you're familiar with Ellen's work. It's basically talking about how, and this is something we've discussed on this podcast many a time, how people are like in need of community. There's this loneliness epidemic going on. Our generation is not as involved in their community, whatever, all that junk. So it's kind of focused around that, but then it's looking specifically at the lack of like partying that people are doing these days. And there's one little statistic. Well, the reason that this is in my brain today is because I was listening to, shout out, the Morning Brew podcast. Have you ever listened to that? It's really good. It's like daily news, but it's like pop culture, actual political or whatever news. And then random stuff like this, you know. But it is a good source of news, I would say. So apparently, according to this article, only 4.1% of Americans attended or hosted a social event on an average weekend or holiday in 2023.
How many?
4.1%.
Okay.
But this is, I feel like this statistic is not misleading, but kind of hard to understand because it's only 4.1% of Americans attended or hosted a social event on an average weekend or holiday.
I just can't feel like that's accurate.
I feel like that's accurate.
Can I just give my quick opinion why I was not on board for this topic?
Yeah, I would love that.
Because the 4th of July literally just happened and everybody was doing stuff. Like, everybody was having cookouts.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, Americans do this all the time. Memorial Day, Labor Day, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Halloween, birthdays, anniversaries.
Okay,
Like, we're partying.
we are partying, we are gathering. But I think that this is really a thing, particularly in cities where parties used to happen so much, A. And B, so much of your community used to be, and this is just generally, made up. Like, you would go to church every Sunday and see everyone in your neighborhood, you know? But now people, like,
Are not going
aren't
to
going
church.
to church.
This is actually where we need to redirect the
that's,
topic.
That's literally why people don't feel like it's several things, but one of them is certainly that people aren't going to church as much and don't feel like they have that kind of community. So they're looking for it in other places, or they just don't have it.
And you know what? You're looking for it in the wrong places. You need to get to the Lord's house. I'm literally preaching, Kieran.
So, anyway, I thought it would be fun to do an episode kind of around this topic because I feel like there's just so much to discuss here. And this is one thing that I wanted to get into. I feel like we don't experience this as much because, you know, we like are around our parents, we're around our families. We are in a small little town, not in a city where like we see the initial changes.
Do you feel like we don't party enough?
I feel like I wish I attended more parties. Yeah. Although, like,
I feel like
do
your
at
mom
school.
is having a party every weekend.
And that's another thing I wanted to get into. My mother, and I've been wanting to do an episode on like fostering community as well. My mother is a professional at this. And it's because she just always wants like a house full of people. Like, she always wants people over. She always wants to be, well, first of all, busy as all get out, if you will.
All get out.
And literally a couple times a week, like a bunch of my cousins will come over, especially in the summertime. We'll like have homemade ice cream and we'll all play cards, especially, as I said, in the summer and also when all of us are home, like me and my siblings. So I feel like that, yeah, like our lives are a little different, but I just think this topic is so interesting as a general matter.
Okay, I'm still needing to be sold a little. I can't.
Okay.
I can't tell if you can tell.
Well, no, I can tell.
But
don't
I think
worry.
that's going to set you up for success in delivery of this content.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that I had to be introducing evidence.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be the judge of
Okay.
that.
So the general gist of the article is like why parties are good for you and your community. That's the generalized.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Another thing about partying that I wanted to mention is the quote from the article is, Americans often view parties as stressful obligations or drunken chaos, missing their purpose as intentional communal joy.
I can agree with that.
I think when I think of the word partying, my brain goes to like college parties, spring breakers, things like that. And I just, first of all, don't think that's not what I'm talking about, you know? Like,
yeah, I bet.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to have a good time, but that's not what I'm talking about. There are so many ways to I feel like our generation, known as, apparently J.C. Marie Smith on What We Said podcast has been talking about this book called The Anxious Generation, which is referring to us, like 95 to what, like probably still being born. And part of the reasons for that are the way that our parents raised us, and this is not a bad thing at all, but instead of having more kids that they didn't watch over as much, again, not a bad thing. That's just, I mean, like our parents, you know, could ride their bike down the street. Like they just didn't know of all the dangers in the world, you know? So they had more kids that they didn't watch over as much, and they were just like free to do whatever they wanted. Whereas us, our parents had less kids. This is an average statement. It's like my parents had 4 kids, and I know people with 7 siblings, so don't be weird about it. But
Don't be weird.
our parents had less kids on average and spent more time with us in activities, watching us, and really just like constantly keeping a close eye on us and almost teaching us to be nervous. Do you know what I mean?
I do, but I'm going to be devil's advocate here. It is a different world.
The devil literally doesn't need an advocate, but okay.
I will give our parents a little bit of credit.
I don't think either one of those things is a bad thing.
No,
I'm just
I
saying
think you're right.
how it
but
is.
I think, yeah, no, I agree, but I'm just saying like it is because it's a different world. But I definitely agree they are more anxious because they've actually seen the world change from what they grew up to all the horror stories of today. So they were like hyper attentive to their children, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Do you think that the world, I mean, I know it's obviously a little bit of both, but do you think that the world has changed so much or we're just more aware of it?
I do think it's changed. I think social media and just the internet has been such a great thing, but also like just an awful thing because it's given access for creeps to have a whole different way of being creepy. And I know that like bad things happened back then and it probably just wasn't broadcasted like it is today because they didn't have that. But on average, like I feel like they could ride their bikes down the street with no fear. And now like there is fear. And like women, like you don't hear of women being scared to go into a parking garage by themselves back then. But now they are.
Well, I think, like I was talking to someone who, you might have been
But
there.
even like older adults will be like, yeah, it wasn't like this when I grew up.
But I feel like violence against women has gotten
No,
better.
I just don't, like, I don't hear of elderly women or stories of elderly women being like, yeah, I was nervous to be alone, like walking down the street back in those days. Do you?
Think yes.
Okay.
I was talking to someone and I really wish I could remember who it was. Because
I mean, it's hard for us to
Can't
tell
remember.
because we are in one generation and have never seen the
yeah,
other.
exactly. And
So,
yeah.
basically, we just have to go off of what.
Yeah.
Other
And
people have
everybody,
told us.
every generation has. But someone was telling me that when they were in college, I think at UT Knoxville, there was like a whole bunch of women, like female college students, getting raped, like drugged and raped.
Yeah, I mean, no, like Jeffrey Dahmer and all of that was before the age of social media and stuff like that. So there were definitely awful things still happening. For
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, and they probably have better technology to like catch people, so maybe there's less serial killers. But
One last thing about this. I would say the violence more towards children, and it's making children more violent, I think is what social media is. Like video games are making children more, like Call of Duty, a 9-year-old probably
I
should
agree.
not be playing that. It is introducing like violent thoughts and they're killing people on their video games, and I think that cannot be healthy for a maturing mind to see.
yeah, I don't know if it like makes them want to kill people, but I think it very much desensitizes kids to that, which is like can't be a good thing.
Yeah, and then like I said, the access for predators to children because of social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, where was I going with this?
And now you need to go out and party.
On
that
so
note-
that's how our parents raised us, and I think it's fair to say that whether that's the reason or that's not the reason, and I think social media is also a big part of the reason, both through that avenue and just generally. But I think we are anxious about everything. We're anxious to make phone calls. You have to text us before you call us to make sure that
Grocery stores.
we're mentally okay to take the phone call. You know, like you have to know who's gonna be somewhere before you show up. You have to know what to bring. You have to know what to
Yeah.
wear. And because you post everything on the internet, you're worried more about, and I absolutely do this. You're worried more about how you look and what you're wearing than the conversation you're having.
Exactly.
And I think that's the thing.
Yeah. No, I definitely get the whole anxious to go to a party, and sometimes it's more of a dread than it is an enjoyment. Like, mainly before you go, and then once you get there, it's a good time. That's how it always goes.
Yeah.
I always like dread things, and then I just tell myself, once I get there, I'm gonna be having so much fun. So
Yeah.
what does it even matter? But yeah, I think it's because we put so much emphasis on like stressing about who's gonna be there. And before the time of technology and stuff, you got the invite and you showed up
Yeah.
because you weren't on your phone constantly and all that stuff. And
maybe there would be some like blurry flip phone pictures, but you had peace in knowing, well, they probably didn't even realize they had this piece, but you knew that you weren't going to be looking back at pictures on everyone's Instagram.
exactly.
So you would just put on a fun outfit and go to a party.
And even as like the host of a party, I think that there's still anxiety.
Yes.
Just going back to our party that we hosted at the beginning of the year, it was so much fun, but there was like so much stress about making sure we got enough content, making sure everything looked good, which is, I mean, kind of par for the course if we're making content for our podcast.
Yeah, but
But still, like, we were worried about
even like our dinner party.
our outfits. Yeah, even our dinner party we hosted at my house for when everybody graduated, we were still so stressed about making it look good.
Mhm.
But it's easy to just like lose the joy of partying.
Yeah. I think that's a really big reason for this is the pressure to make it perfect or do nothing, you know?
Yeah.
And that goes back to my favorite quote, perfect is the enemy of good. But anyway,
Is that your favorite quote?
I do love that quote. I feel a lot as if I can't do something perfectly, I'm not going to do it at all.
No,
You know?
I 1000%
And that's just-
agree.
It's an awful way to be. It's
Mhm.
exhausting, first of all, and you end up doing nothing.
Mhm.
You're spending your life thinking
or
about stuff.
you end up doing it and then thinking about everything else you should have done the entire time. Like that to make it better.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like the decisions you could have
Yeah.
made. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
So anyway, I can't. I have to go back to my Chat GPT outline if you guys don't mind.
Because this wasn't an original thought.
No, well, the episode was, but so so I brought this up earlier to say this, but I want to re-emphasize that partying does not have to and does not necessitate drinking. And that there
Yeah.
are so many, like,
I hate that as a society, though, we feel like we have to be drunk to have fun.
yeah,
I don't think that's true at all. At all.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree.
Like, I think that if you have good friends, you can be sober and have just as much fun. It's very telling of your friends. If
I
you
agree.
can have sober fun.
I agree with that.
So maybe if you can't, you just don't have a good friend group.
I think that, like, host a potluck, you know?
Yeah.
Host a book club.
Or like if you need like a thing at your party, like alcohol or mixed drinks could have been like a thing. Make like homemade ice cream, make mocktails, have like some type of coffee, like make lattes or whatever. You can have that signature piece in so many other ways. Like make donuts or stuff like that.
I think another fun way to think about this, and some like smaller cities I feel like do, and maybe bigger cities too, I've just spent more time in smaller cities, but things like trivia nights at like local breweries and stuff are really, really great about this. And you go and you see like hundreds of young people like coming together and just having dinner and answering trivia questions. And I think that's what I'm talking about. Just like things that bring people together. Specifically, what I'm referring to is in settings where you maybe don't know everyone. I feel like our generation just wants to hang out with your immediate friends, and I get it because sometimes whoa.
Now what is it?
Sometimes it's exhausting to have to be around people that you don't know that well. But it's so, for me, maybe I'm just like more extroverted, and I feel like I'm becoming more extroverted too. But I think it's so worth it to put in the time to like get to know someone, particularly in a group setting where you can bounce off each other and it's not as much pressure as a one-on-one. But I think there's so much value in being around and learning how to, as a young person, meet people, incorporate them into your group. Not even network, like make friends, you know?
No, I'm kidding. Also, I think a good way that you could do this would be like being a +1 to your friends that you're not friends with events. Like going with one of your friends that you don't know their extended friend group. I think that, because then you have a connection, you have at least one commonality, and that's your friend. And surely, if you've got good taste in friends, you'll like their friend group too.
Yeah, or bring a +1.
Yeah.
The thing people say on TikTok all the time right now is, in order to have a village, you have to be a villager. Like, you have to put in the work to do these things as well.
Yeah.
Even if it is initially uncomfortable, which a lot of times it is. But, like, all the best things are a little uncomfortable sometimes.
You don't know what you're missing out on until you actually try.
Yep. Okay, what next, chat?
Chat. It said ChatGPT
Anyone
is going to bed.
Want to sing a little song?
You know, one thing that's coming to my mind, the TikToker Renee and Ella, they do like a run club, and she like travels to different cities. Or once again, our queen Jenna Palak doing her luncheon brunch workout classes, just going, and even like going solo and talking to people there. And you don't have to be lifelong friends, but it's a good exercise of getting out of your comfort zone.
I was going to say, getting out of your comfort zone as a young person, like 20s, 30s, teens, whatever, I think is like it's really like a skill, like a muscle. You really have to keep getting out of your comfort zone over and over and over, and then soon maybe, you know, you don't really have one in some ways.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, there's a quote that I want to read, and then some little final statements. This is a quote from the article. Okay, it's on topic. People need parties in the same way they need exercise or affection. They remind us that life is not just about survival, but about living.
Which we love to hound upon.
We
beat that horse to death, that we are not meant to work and live.
Yeah, I feel so passionately about this though. Like, I feel like in my day, and I'm a person who like wants to be productive, you know, but I feel like in my day, if I'm scheduling in some like time with friends, some time to meet people, like I'm going somewhere after work, like that's productive, you know, like I'm exercising my brain, I'm exercising my like abilities, I'm meeting new people, I'm helping them.
Yeah.
No, whatever, you know,
and it makes the whole work of it all.
It does.
15,000 times lighter.
It makes everything better. So one closing thought that I'll leave you guys with is, as we were saying, if you want to have a village, you have to be a villager. So I want to challenge all of you. This is a call to action. That's what they say to put at the end of your podcast.
Call to action. Okay.
Yeah. Plan a party. Maybe not even plan a lunch. Plan a dinner. And invite people who don't know each other. Do the party invitations. I know it's scary. I know people are going to be scared and be nervous and be anxious, but just encourage everyone to come with an open mind, and then maybe they'll learn something, and your community will grow, and their communities will grow.
And even, yes, partying, quote unquote, with people you don't know, but also just like make sure you're taking time to celebrate with your inner circle. Like, I want to have like a little bonfire here, and I'm not going to invite people that I don't know because I don't want them in my house. Sorry.
Okay, but you know who you just sounded like? The evil girl on TikTok. Have you seen that?
No. I am her.
Can I like pause really quick and tell this story?
Yeah.
So
I'm offended.
This
immensely.
Really famous thing on TikTok, or viral thing on TikTok right now, is this lady just moved to an area. She has a son. Her son's best friend's mom invited her to a 4th of July cookout. And she thought that it was like a big like neighborhood thing. Well, she arrives and she's made this beautiful salad. She's like Italian and it has like all these fancy meats and stuff. And the owner of the house walks by her and is just glaring at her. And then I think it's the male owner of the house. And then the wife walks up to her and is like, you're not going to introduce yourself in someone else's home? And they get so mad at her for being there. They're like, someone's in our house that we don't know. And it's a video of her. She's like crying. In
Wait,
her
so
car.
the friend's mom invited her to someone else's home for it.
Yeah, but I think the understanding was like it was a big party. I'm kind of a hater of stuff like this. Like if you're gonna have a party, the more the merrier. Like invite people.
Yeah. But I will be the devil's advocate. If you invite someone, I trust who you're inviting. But like, there's no random person on the tip of my tongue that I'm wanting to invite to my housewarming party. I feel like that's kind of an intimate
I
gathering.
think it depends on how many people were there.
No, in her scenario, I get why she would be upset. That's actually rude.
It is. It's rude.
I
And
would
she brought
never be-
she brought a
I
salad.
think I did see that. And I would never be rude to anyone that showed up at my house. But specifically, I was thinking of a housewarming party that I wanted to invite my closest friends to. And then you just bashed me.
You said I don't want people I don't know in my house. I'm just saying.
Is that weird?
Because that's what she said, and
This-
people are so mad at her about it.
I didn't say it like that to a stranger's face.
To her when she
I
shows
just
up at
said
your house.
I'm not inviting the mailman to my housewarming party.
Okay, I get it.
You're about to be off the list too with that attitude. See, I'm not even having one. I want my house to be cold.
No, I really want you to have one.
Well, I'm rethinking my life right now. You want me to have a party, I plan a party, and now you're barking at
I
me
just
for the
think
party
you're
I want.
not following my advice. You're not getting outside your
I
comfort zone.
literally put a disclaimer before this statement and said, I get what you're saying about being uncomfortable, but it's also important to celebrate little things with your inner circle.
I agree.
The
I
more
agree.
parties, the merrier.
Totally.
And now I'm advocating for this
I
topic.
agree with that. I'm with you on that one.
Jeepers creepers. This has been a whirlwind of an app.
And back to our old joke. This will be the last podcast.
And you know
episode.
what? Don't party with your best friend because it's bound to ruin your friendship.
True.
Oh, jeez. Well, I'm partied out.
Me too.
TBH.
I'm pooped. I'm a party pooper.
Yeah. Well, hope you enjoyed. God.
Mally doesn't think you did, so please let us know if you enjoyed.
No, I feel like we talk about this topic in a roundabout way a lot. Hosting and
We talk about 4 topics.
yeah, so here's another, just adding it to the tally. Yet another episode about hosting. We've never done it.
episode.
No, we just talk about it every week.
Okay.
No, I think that this was a good point of view. I do.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You know what episode I'm wanting to revive?
What?
Cash Cab.
Me too. We have to do that.
Very soon.
I agree.
So yeah, we hope that you all did enjoy. And actually, I did host a big party, aka my wedding. So
You did.
I've got mine in for the year.
You did. Actually, for like the next 5 years.
Yeah, I'm good. Retirement party will be the next.
Yeah, in 5 years.
Yeah. A girl can dream. All right, guys. Well, we hope that you have lots of parties planned in the upcoming future. And Laura Grace will be inviting all of you all to hers, especially when she moves into her home. She wants you to bring everyone.
I will. I will invite the neighborhood.
Oh, jeez. Okay, guys. We will see you all next week, and we hope that you have the best weekend ever, per usual. See ya. Love ya. Bye.